Om Jananam Bhagyam Babaji. Om Sankam Amritam Babaji. Om Yogam Siddham Babaji. Om Dhanam Punyam Babaji. Om Sharanam Vinayam Babaji.
Namaste. Hope all are very fine. It is a festive season. Shishur Shankrant, Makara Shankrant, Magh Bihu, Kicheri, Pausha Shankranti, Pongal, Pedda Pandiya, Makara Vilak, Uttarayan, Magi, Logri. In so many versions, in so many names, the Makara Shankranti or Pongal, or when the sun enters the Makara Rashi is celebrated all over India and all over world. It is an auspicious day for having cultivated successfully. We pray our respects to all the cattle, the oxen and other animals which are used in the cultivation of our food grains. We are always ever grateful to those animals which are equal to us or sometimes more equal to us in serving us without any expectations. They give their life to us. We shall be thankful to them. We shall pray. We shall pay our respects, all our references to all the animals, all the creatures in the soil, under the soil, which help us purify and give us a pure manure or pure soil for cultivation. Today, we are going to discuss some miracle which happened very few days. Behind us, always Mahavatar Babaji is there. That has to be watched again and again. On 10th, we visited Hyderabad on a personal note. From Hyderabad, we went to New Delhi on an invitation from a very high-profile judiciary officer. His book was being released, who happens to be our friend. Since 2006-2007, all our visits to New Delhi, we have been staying in Hotel Southern Karol Bagh. Not only this, as and when our group embarks on a Himalayan tour for Babaji Cave, Char Dham, Do Dham, Gangotri, Yamunotri, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gupta Kashi, Haridwar, Rishikesh, etc. We always assemble at Hotel Southern. From there only we used to take the bus or continue the journey to start our spiritual tour. This being the case, we never ventured into any other hotel, but this time, fortunately or unfortunately, we do not know. When we called the front office manager, who is very close to us, she expressed her inability to provide even a single room for us. The reason is the ensuing Republic Day celebrations at New Delhi. As a result of Republic Day celebrations, all the rooms in almost all the hotels have been booked by various government agencies of different states. The artists from various states have been continuously arriving. As a result, the hotel, they themselves were finding rooms in other hotels to accommodate the group booking of their hotel. This being the case, in spite of her best efforts, the front office manager could not provide a room for us. If room had been provided for us in Hotel Southern, Karol Bagh, we would have got the pickup and drop by the hotel itself. Since there was no room, we have been forced to search another hotel nearby to Karalbagh, nearby to Southern Hotel, and we were able to get one hotel who did not have the facility of pick up and drop, nor the breakfast provided in the hotel. So this made us to look for our own cab, and we went in search of Uber.
गुरुवे शरणं गुरुवे शरणं गुरुवे शरणं गुरुवे शरणं.
The book was slated to be released by very top judiciary officer. The program of book release was planned in Bharat Mandapam on 12th of January 2024. There were dignitaries, ex-judges, top lawyers, vice chancellors of many universities, ex-governors, some governors, some high officers, some top police officers, some military officers, some spiritual leaders, among others. We were also being invited, and we had to attend that August gathering on 12th January 2024. The program started exactly by 5 o'clock. It was supposed to be over by 5:45 with a high tea. By all means, we should have come out of the Bharat Mandapam by 6 p.m. Taking these programs, keeping a time gap of 30 minutes extra. We booked our return flight from New Delhi by 10:15 p.m. The flight was supposed to go to Pune. We had a layover at Pune, and we were to take another flight past midnight and reach Bangalore on 13th early morning around 3 or 4 o'clock. Before going to the Bharat Mandapam, we had called for a taxi, and we left all our luggage in the hotel room in Karolbagh and took the cab and straight away reached. We had requested the taxi driver to help us to remain there only, so that in about 1 hour time we will be back, so that he can take us to the hotel room, and if possible he can take us to drop in the airport itself. The cab driver agreed and took us to Bharat Mandapam on time. Exactly by 4:45 we were there, and we took our seats. Thoroughly we enjoyed the sharing by several top dignitaries, including vice chancellors of various universities, top judiciary head of India, very senior law executive officer, on whose invitation we visited there. It was very interesting. Each one surpassed the other, and they were sharing very, very interesting matter which we could not ignore. Initially we thought, if the program is getting delayed beyond 5:30, coolly we are supposed to be outside. But we were not allowed, because the speech and the program was so interesting. As a result, the speech and book release went on up to 7 p.m. in the evening, followed by the door was opened for high tea. We had to go for a cup of tea with some refreshments. Then some social interaction with top people who gathered there, including the invitee. By the time we completed everything, the time was 7:55 p.m. in the evening. We had to keep our mobile in silent mode. Subsequently, we came to know the cab driver had called half a dozen times. Finally, he sent a WhatsApp message, at least please call me back. When I called, he replied, he will not be in a position to drop us because it is Already 2 hours we have only, and in 1 hour we will not be able to reach airport. That too going to Karol Bagh, and from Karol Bagh going to Indira Gandhi International Airport. Subsequently, immediately we took leave from the invitees and their family, and we had to leave. When we came out, hundreds of cars were there in queue, and many dignitaries were departing. We had to wait for our car to come because our car was also in the queue. Unless the car comes, we are not in a position to move. By the time we entered the car, it was 8:15, and the navigation map indicated that due to unusual traffic, we could reach Karol Bagh, our hotel, by 8:15. But our check-in time was 2 hours before 10:15, that is 8:15, because we had a check-in baggage as well as cabin baggage both. There are certain items will not be allowed in the check-in baggage, certain items will not be permitted in the cabin baggage, so we had to make a balance. In Karol Bagh area, our vehicle was just 500 meters away from the hotel, but that itself took more than 40 minutes for us to reach the hotel. We tried to call the hotel to send our luggage to the road so that we need not get down from the cab and go to the hotel and collect the material. With all permutation combination, with all cooperation, we could not leave Karol Bagh area till 8:55 p.m. And again booking a new ticket would be beyond our reach. Keeping this in mind, our driver cooperated and he took us towards Indira Gandhi International Airport. By the time we reached, it was already 9:30 and we had to go to the security check. Initial check, we had to identify ourselves. There were some other passengers who were holding international passport and they had a complication until their queue is moved. A big family. Our queue, we will not be allowed, although we were second. Somehow we requested them. The security helped us and we went to the check-in counter. They had to take our luggage, book our luggage and give us 2 + 2, 4 boarding passes. And the lady told, you are too late for the boarding. If possible, make an attempt. And in New Delhi airport, to catch the flight boarding, the terminal number 3 from which we have to embark is so huge, we had to walk at least 500 meters. In the meanwhile, we settled the amount to cab driver with a request to hold for some time so that if we miss the flight, we will be in a position to come back. But even coming back, we were not sure of getting hotel rooms. Because of Republic Day celebration in near future, there are hundreds and thousands of artisans had come. Hundreds and thousands of artists and artisans and participants had arrived in New Delhi. All hotels have been totally booked. We checked the online ticket. There were no tickets available. The ticket, even if tickets are available, the connecting flights, layover, all put together, we may reach on 14th evening was the indication what we got. At this stage, what action has to be taken by us? Somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, somewhere in chapter 12, Bhagavan says karma, vikarma and akarma. That is karma, action, vikarma, bad deeds or bad action, and akarma is no action. When you are not able to do any action, when things are out of our control, we had to submit to the Lord, just remain in akarma. Actions are compulsory and are to be aligned to the dharma. We have completed this portion by taking a legal ticket, by planning our journey and maintaining our time to the highest possible way. Vikarma, the action which are not sanctioned by the scriptures, we did not do anything on that day or previous, or we had nothing of that sort in our mind. So I had submitted to Mahavatar Babaji, and like Draupadi in the Duryodhana Sabha, I had to leave everything to Babaji and remain calm and composed. Let whatever happens, whatever Babaji decides, let it happen. If we had to stay in airport, we will stay. If we had to come back to the hotel, come back and have a room and stay there. If no rooms are available, stay wherever possible. This was only thought, after which we both never thought of anything, but we were just calm and composed. Let it happen, whatever happens. This was while walking towards the boarding item. One more thing was giving us very much guarantee, solace and satisfaction that the Bhagavan's words which says, for those who are always satisfied and engaged in divine service or devotional service with determination, and whose mind and intelligence are in agreement with me, if so, he or she is dear to me. This quote of Bhagavan Sri Krishna in chapter 12 came into our mind. Very submissively, very obediently, we both submitted this and remained calm and composed. Now when we reached the boarding, we were astonished to see a big gathering of people waiting in queue. The flight was delayed. Although boarding pass was issued with a condition that you could miss the flight, still very big gathering was there. And there was some confusion. They told us to go to gate number 39 in the boarding pass. Then they announced us to go to gate number 42. By the time when we went there, someone came personally and informed us you will have to go to gate number 48, which is further more distance. All the passengers were carrying their handbag and proceeding to gate 48. We also reached there, waited for few minutes, and because of the seat allotment to us, we were one among the few who were allowed to board the flight early. And the flight took off almost 45 minutes delay. The next point was whether we will have the connecting flight at Pune, which is another exercise of security check, and it will take at least 1 hour. But by the time when we reached Pune, already that flight had not at all arrived, and as a result, the 1:15 a.m. flight took off from Pune at around 2:45 a.m. in the morning on the 13th day of January 2024. We reached homes very safely around 6 a.m. on 13th morning, as against 3 a.m. in the morning. We were late by 3 hours. Then only we were made to realize that Bhagavan, the Divinity, Mahavatar Babaji, who was earlier Sri Krishna himself, knows all ifs and buts, all in and out, all permutation and combination. The case went on like this. On arrival at Delhi airport in the previous day, we booked a Uber. The cab driver became friendly and he agreed to come next day to pick us up and take us to the venue, Bharat Mandapam, gate number 7. Then he consented to wait for us and come back, go to hotel at Karol Bagh, pick up the luggage and then drop us to airport. Anil, the cab driver, who had a very simple cab, is from Uttar Pradesh, and the boy was so nice, so cordial, so courteous. He helped us a lot. In fact, he took the entire burden of reaching us to the airport, even though it was late. Subsequently, only we thought that all things are planned by Mahavatar Babaji. At the time of arrival at the Delhi airport on the 11th evening, it is only because Hotel Southern did not provide a room for us. We had to call Uber, and that call made Anil come into the picture. But for the refusal of the hotel to provide a room, at that moment it looked as though we have been denied something. But it is not so. Always the Divinity provides a solution. Only after providing the solution, Mahavatar Babaji arranges our trip, is what we will have to watch for it and what we will have to understand the play of the Divinity. As I continue to say, the Divinity first provides milk in the breast of the mother, and then only the child arrives. Exactly in the same manner, Uber was provided, Anil, the cab driver, was provided for us by not providing a hotel room in Hotel Southern. If this situation is meditated upon, then we will understand the grace of Mahavatar Babaji, how he plans so meticulously, so minutely, and then only he allows us to take up the journey either on a spiritual note or an invitational or on a personal note to visit anybody. Babaji had already planned and installed Anil, the cab driver of Uber, for us. He has detailed and he has allotted to us to take care of us. But for the cab driver Anil, it would have been impossible for us to reach the airport, because from the main road, entry to the Bharat Mandapam itself is almost half a kilometer to 1 kilometer. Normally cabs will not be allowed inside at call. Most of the people had to come out of the main gate and pick up cabs on the road. So it was the plan of Mahavatar Babaji, keeping us in mind, to engage the cab driver Anil for us on the day, who came inside, waited for us, picked us, took to the hotel, managed getting the luggage to the car, maneuvered with his excellent safe driving, reached us to airport just 15 minutes before the flight timings. During the discussion, we understood that Anil, a young boy of 24-25-year-old, his marriage is slated in April 2024, and at the time of taking leave from us, he was very confident. He uttered that you will not miss the flight, although I will be waiting for both of you, but you will get your flight. All the very best. This cab driver Anil is pre-planned and pre-installed by Mahavatar Babaji, but for whom we would not have embarked the flight at all. This is how the Divinity plays the role. We come to know at the end of the game, but the plans are going on behind us. Several churning goes on in the permutation combination of the Divinity. We do not know how to repay whatever we have to pay to the Divinity Mahavatar Babaji in every segment of our life, in every millimeter of our forward moment. Babaji shows his presence, shows his support, shows his guidance, shows his grace wherever we go, me, Mataji, or any of our group members take up any spiritual tours, we encounter multitude of miracles. Even in our recent Kashi Yatra, the kind of miracles what we encountered is something beyond imagination. This goes to prove that Babaji never does any miracle, but all miracles happen around Mahavatar Babaji and Annai Nagalakshmi. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.